Round of applause for you guys. I've been involved with a lot of groups and a lot of teams. I've never walked into something like that before. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah. What were you guys doing? Rock, paper, scissors championship? Yeah. What was the first prize, like 10 grand or something? No. Zero. Sick leave. Awesome. Okay, well, so anyways, my name's Shawn. I'm from Calgary, just to see you guys. And Jen has to give us some training on social media today. Before we get started though, I want to talk, is everybody or anybody coming to the event tomorrow?
Yes.
I don't want to cover the stuff that we're talking about tomorrow now, because you'll need it twice. So yeah, everyone's coming? Tomorrow? Okay. Cool. So what we'll do is we'll give you guys a few different strategies on some different things that we're going to talk about from tomorrow based on social media, but some really important topics that we're going to cover anyways.
Yes.
Has everybody been to a session that I've spoken at before? No? Okay. So I'll give you a quick background of who I am. That's the only time I've ever worn a suit in most of my life, was for that picture 4 years ago. So when I started in the business, it was 2019 in Calgary, and that was the bottom of our down market. So we peaked at 2014, and we started going down to 2019, and that's when I decided to get into real estate at the bottom, which was the best time ever. And not only that, they always tell you should have 6 months saved, right? Anybody struggle with that one? Have 6 months of savings? So I was 6 months behind. I was already missing my mortgage when I got my license. I was already getting my car refilled when I was licensed, and I was working a cash job because I couldn't have any money go into my bank account because the bank would just take it. So I was working as a bouncer for cash at night, so I could do real estate during the day and the morning. And I was actually selling my furniture for food, which is crazy. So like I was selling my couches so I could eat and shit like that and sit on the floor. So that's how I started in real estate. So I had to do stuff that was free, that made a lot of business, right? Because obviously I can afford to rent ads and stuff like that. So I'll give you some of the strategies that we did with that. But just some history. So in my first deal, I ended up doing 44 deals in my first year, so not bad. Second year, I did a little bit better. I did 103 deals in my second year. And then my third year, I topped that a little bit better. I did 186 deals.
Jesus.
So 186 deals, yeah, thanks. So, yeah, I can now afford to eat, and I bought some of my furniture back. So, as you can tell,
Sorry, is it single agent?
Sorry?
As a single agent?
That's solo numbers. Yeah, that's solo numbers. So 186 deals in 1 year. And that same year, I took 15 vacations. So, yeah, I was out of country 15 times. So I basically did a deal every single day that I was in the country. Anybody want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I did that, if you can imagine, we call it DMs for dollars. But we did it strictly through not active prospecting, which is the opposite of the teams do. My team, I try to push them to do it, but it's harder because the results don't come right away. The results come, 3 months later, 6 months later. So you kind of have to Indiana Jones it, where you work blindly, you take that blind leap of faith, and you have to stay consistent at it until you build the authority in your community so that you're not top of mind, but you're top of preference. Has everybody heard that term or not? Top of mind, right? Top of mind. But everyone has 10 realtor friends, 20 realtor friends. So you can't be top of mind, you have to be top of preference. So we teach you guys how to do some of that stuff through social media and through other activities. And yeah, I don't do any door knocking, I don't do any open houses, I don't do anything at all. 100% of my business just comes directly into the DMs. And I did that in 3 years, so I can teach you guys how to do that, and I can short track all the stuff for you. So, some of the most important things is understanding what to post and when to post it. This isn't the general bullshit that you hear all the time, like post between 5 and 7, or post what you're interested in. And this is exactly what you're supposed to do. So, does anybody know the difference between a story and a post?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does anybody know the different interpretation for your audience from a story to a post? Okay. So if you just friend somebody brand new, or you found somebody interesting on a For You page or whatever, what's the first place you go, story or post? Okay, and why is that? You're right, by the way. Well, there's a better chance you're going to see who that person is. There's more personality on the story, right? And then you go to the feed, and that's where the value is. And if the value is there, then you follow them, you might become friends down the road. So on your story, you need to quote what we call anchors. So you need to make sure that you anchor people in so that they like you, because we need people to not know, like, and trust us. We need people to know, love, and trust us now. People need to be raving fans about you and who you are if you're going to be top of preference, not top of mind. So the 5 things that we always post on our stories, so I don't know if you guys are taking notes or not, or if not, I'll just talk blindly. But the 5 things that we post on our story are the 5 things that people communicate the most with. So that's food, fitness, inspiration, motivation, memes, and family. So that's pets and kids. Okay? Those are the 5 things that the general population is going to interact with the most. And then what you do is you add in your personality on top of it. So whatever your favorite thing might be, I'll put a couple people on the spot. But what, besides having a baby, what's your favorite thing? What's to do?
To do?
Yeah, like free time.
Free time, probably spending time with my husband. I'm trying to go out to eat before little one comes and,
Okay.
you know,
So
like,
foodies.
time together.
So we're in the top 5.
Yeah.
Right? What's one of your favorite things to do outside, just for fun?
Fixing things around the house usually.
Yeah.
Really nice fun.
Okay. Eastern European or something? Yeah, we've got 2 not the best examples of what I was going for, but we're thinking things like hiking, kayaking, surfing, darts, bowling, whatever it is, right? Because the more authentically you post the things that you're interested in after I teach you this next set, you're going to get more people who are interested in the things that you're interested in. Has anybody, because we all work internet leads here, right? Has anybody just worked with a client they absolutely fucking despise? Couldn't wait to get that one done? It's okay, don't be shy, right? Has anybody worked with somebody that they absolutely loved, right? Became your best friend. So how many times do people that you love come from your sphere? Way more, right?
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we're working our sphere. Somebody teach you guys how to create your sphere. So the 5 things that we posted on our story: food, fitness, inspiration, motivation, memes, pets, and kids. Okay? Those are the things we put in our story because we're going to start to attract a whole bunch of people onto our account, and we want them to vibe with us. Okay? So those things plus your personality. And on your posts, when you make your posts, it should always be value-based posts for the consumer of the content. A lot of times we're putting open houses, for sale, sold, all that kind of shit. Who cares about that? Does anybody care? I don't even care. Right? Like, I'm a realtor, I'm like, fuck, I hate this shit. And the market's sad. Must be the first. Right? So what happens is, how can you educate people or talk to people? And there's actually somebody who's, I'll find his TikTok here. He's from Ontario. Does anybody follow him? He's like a fat mortgage broker. Does anybody follow this guy? You know, I think it's Barry or something like that, right? Right? I follow him for all my Toronto updates. I can't get enough of him. It's awesome. Right? You know his handle? It's Barry. We'll find it, yeah. So anyways, he gives awesome updates. But what happens is he's always talking about the market trends and predictions, value-based, right? So for example, does anybody know what's going to happen to fixed rates here in the next quarter or so? They going up, down, or staying still?
Go.
No? Anybody for up? No? Yeah. So they're going to go down.
Yeah.
Is it 100%? 100% they're going down. How's that $1 million on it? Does it fixed rates are going to go down? Does anybody know why fixed rates are going to go down? How are fixed rates calculated?
Bond rate.
The bond rates. What just happened to the bond rates last week? Went down. So what will happen, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not the next rate announcement, but within 2 or 3, we know that fixed rates are going to go down. So what should we be telling our customers and our clients about fixed rates when the market goes, when the fixed rates go down?
Prices go up.
Prices go up. So what should people be doing who are sitting on the fence right now waiting for the market to fall off?
Get in
Is that not a very value-based post that you guys should be posting about?
Yeah.
So you see what I'm talking about, value-based posts? We're sitting here talking about, here's the steps for first-time home buyers or staging tips, and those are fine, but you want to be doing signaling tips, so things that are going on in the market, and stuff is always changing all the time, right? Like, did you guys used to have a huge shortage of condos? Pre-sales were insane, right? Now what's happening? How much are they paying commission on pre-sales right now? I saw one at 10% the other day. I was like, yeah, 10%. I mean, you're going to pay 60 G's to sell this condo. Does that mean there's an oversupply or undersupply? I can find the information.
Will they finish the project?
Well, that's a good question too. Yeah, yeah, that's a good question too. So what happens is these are all market signals that people need to know about. So the more that you can convey that, the more that people are going to come to you because you're going to be the authority on the market, and they're going to turn to you, and your DMs are going to turn to dollars. Does that make sense? See how we're tracking with me here? Okay. So what are the 5 things we talked about in the stories? What did you say?
I said, pets and animals.
Pets and animals, same thing. That works.
Kids are
Yeah. That works. Okay, I'm going to circle back to that. It's really important that you guys understand those things. Okay, I'm going to circle back to it. So then once we get their attention on your account, then what we want to do is hit them with some value-based stuff that they're not getting from other realtors, right? So then they're going to follow you, and then if they're following you, you follow them back. You have to follow them back, because how you can interact with them if you don't. We have this ego thing, right? Oh, I got 5,000 followers, I'm only following 200 people. I'm the man. No, you're dumb. You don't understand how social media works. I'm sorry. Sorry for anybody that just offended there. But you need to be interacting with the people you want to do business with, okay? I'm going to hit one more thing, and then I'm going to show you guys how to attract your ideal clients. The other thing is social media. Who's here uses social media for their business? Okay, so not enough people. You want to use it for a business. So conversation, and I'll sell you on this. So every time, if you want to think about a lead or a prospect, think of them as a boat out in the ocean, and every time that boat comes to dock, that's a deal, okay? So there's two ways to get the boats to dock. We can either be a tugboat, and we could go and we could tug them one by one onto dock, or we could be a lighthouse, and you can attract all of the people. And then the lighthouse will bring in infinitely more business and infinitely more people than the tugboat. Social media is your lighthouse. Because what happens is instead of having conversations of one-to-one, you're going to have conversations of one-to-many. Does that make sense? Every time you say one thing, if 100 people see it, you just had 100 conversations instead of one-to-one. Okay? So, yeah, so the stories, the posts. So now what we want to talk about is finding your ideal client in the ideal cities and communities you want to work in. So, does anybody know how to get their ideal client from the communities they want to work in? Would anybody love to work just one community but never have to knock the door, never have to go to open house? Sure, we'll do it. So on Instagram, what you want to do is we call this a social media blitz. This takes 1 hour, and 1 hour a day. That's all we need to do this for. And don't be like watching TV or talking to friends or whatever. Like this is real prospecting time. So sit down and handle this. So 1 hour, we're going to go 4 15-minute segments. So first thing you have to do is make a post. Okay? The post has to be something value-based or whatever it is you want to put up there. Make your post, and then we go into the search, and we search communities. And we'll search the community where we want to work. So for example, what's your community you would love to work in? We'll just use the Keswick. Keswick? Okay. So let's say we search Keswick. Okay, so if you go to Instagram, you search Keswick, we're going to have two options, top and recent. Top is just going to be a bunch of girls in bikinis. It is what it is. It's the internet. I'm sorry. So, yeah. How do we do this? Yeah. You know what? I bet you if we do it, I bet you it'll be something along those lines. So we want to go to recents. Okay? Now, really pay attention to this, guys. This is a step that I say all the time that people always miss. So search city where you want to work or community inside the city where you want to work is even better. Click recents. And then you start commenting on every single post that comes up. Okay? So if you comment on every single post that comes up, when you guys have a random person leave a comment on your post, a random person you don't know who they are, what's the first thing you do? Who the fuck is this? Right? So where do you go? Their page. And what's the first thing you check? Which is what? Story or post? Story. So what should be on your story? So what happens is you sit there and you comment for 15 minutes on a bunch of different accounts in the community that you want to work. And you go even deeper and go into places that only locals would go to. So like ice cream shops, pubs, dog parks, schools, playgrounds, where only people in that community are likely to attend. Now here's something that's really cool that we noticed that changed maybe 2 years ago. We've been doing this for a while. As you're commenting, you're going to see a lot of businesses that are posting. Okay, so a lot of businesses are going to post on Instagram and take community locations. So what's the likelihood you do business on a business? I would say unlikely, right? It's probably a gym from the Philippines running the academy. One of the worst things you can do. Love the people from the Philippines, just not for that. So what you do though is you take that business and you go into that business's followers. Now those are exactly the clients you're looking for. Imagine a vet clinic. The only people that are following Kismet something vet clinic is the people that live exactly in that community. Now let's say you got a pet. You go and you like and follow all of those people that are following that vet clinic, and you're posting your cute little puppy. They're going to come on and see your story because that's what you're sprinkling in there. What are they going to do? What did you just do? You just gained a client in the community that you want to work. Now what happens is you're giving value-based real estate all the time in your posts. Over time, they're going to be like, oh, wow, my sister's a realtor, but she's an idiot. This person actually knows what they're talking about. Right? I would way rather work with this person. This is hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars on the line, right, per deal. So now they're going to start asking you questions, and this is when you know you're at the right temperature, right? When people start asking questions about real estate, you might be right, you might be wrong, whatever, but you start getting the questions, you're like, okay, I'm on the right track here. And eventually, and this is the hard part, because it takes 3 months or 6 months or 9 months for this to work, but eventually you're flooded with DMs. And I'm telling you, like, I got people that are so frustrated with me, like my friends and my team and the realtor people, because I'll look at my DMs and people will message me 3-4 times in a row and I won't respond to them. Like, hey man, can you sell my house? Hey, I've sent you this 3 times now, can you please list my fucking house? Do I gotta call your mom to tell you to call me so you can sell my house? Right? And I don't do that on purpose, and I do that as a brag thing. I do that because I'm part retarded kind of thing. But I get so busy I can't keep up with everything right now. But that's how many leads come straight into my DMs, to the point that I literally get 3, 4, 5 no respond people, and they still want to work with me. And that's because I'm not top of mind, I'm top of what?
Preference.
See the difference there, guys?
Impressive. Really cool.
I'm not done. Is my time over?
Sorry?
Is my time over?
No, keep going. More. More.
I'm like, shit. Oh, nice to win. So that's 15 minutes on locations, okay? And that's how you dial into locations. And it's that second step when you dial in. So when you come across businesses, go into the businesses followers and comment on all of those people's accounts. They're going to come and see yours. You have to make your account not private as well, right? It should be a public account. So 15 minutes on there. Then we're going to spend 15 minutes on hashtags, right? So do hashtags of things that you're interested in. So you can't hashtag my husband, unfortunately. Sorry. But you can hashtag things that you're interested in, and Instagram will most likely pick up things around where you are, little geographic. So if you put hiking, if you put fishing, if you put whatever, you'll get a lot of geographical stuff that are into stuff that you're into. Now if we're posting I'm going to keep saying this again and again, but if we're posting the 5 things that we should be posting: food, fitness, inspiration, motivation, community, expensive kids, plus our personality. So let's say our personality is fishing, right? So we're always posting about fishing stuff. And we go and do a fishing hashtag or a fishing laundry hashtag. Now we do the exact same thing, and we comment on those people's posts. They're going to be like, who the hell is Shawn Getty? They're going to come on there and they're going to see me hold a big ass fish. What are they probably going to do? Right?
Yep.
And then I'm going to follow them back, and we're going to become friends. And then what happens is, if you've got a realtor that's giving good, valuable information and they're in the same thing that you're into, what's the likelihood that they use you? So easy that is, right? So 15 minutes there. Then we're going to spend 15 minutes on pulling people out of the dead of our algorithm, because this happens all the time. So when you look at the stories, the first story is the people you interact with the most or the least? The first story when you open it up? Most. So what happened to the people at the other end? They're dead, right? Their Instagram dead zone. So what happens is we need to scroll all the way to the back of the stories, and we spend 15 minutes liking and commenting every single story we come across. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because that'll bring them back up alive in our algorithm, and then hopefully you put together a banger of a post that we just put out there. They're like, oh man, Shawn just commented on my thing, and leave a nice comment, right? But go and see your post, and you're like, oh shit, I should buy a pre-sale condo. Right? Didn't even know. Or whatever it might be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we spend 15 minutes pulling the people out of the dead of our algorithm up to the front, and then we spend 15 minutes commenting on our feed. So from the top down, so that people that are high in our algorithm stay high in our algorithm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Can everybody do that an hour every time we make a post?
Hell yeah.
I should spend the
Hell yeah.
But not scrolling.
purposely.
Yeah, purposely. This is really a big problem, right? And like for everybody, I don't know what the Androids, but for everybody with an iPhone, I can tell you exactly where your guys' money is right now. If you just click settings, go to your battery, click usage, and then see how much time that you spend on all the things that you spend on. I can tell you right now what your business looks like based on what your battery usage is. It's so easy. You look there and you're like, oh, cool. 25% of your time on TikTok, eh? How many deals did you do last year on TikTok? Oh, none. Interesting. Where are you at for your goals this year? Oh, you're off. Wonder how that correlates, right? I just look at people's battery usage. I'm like, I can tell exactly what your business looks like from your battery usage. Not an Android, I don't know. So, is that valuable stuff for you guys?
So good. So good.
Yeah, I got a couple more for you. Question?
I just have a question.
Yeah, sure.
So since there's a limit to how many people you can actually follow on Instagram, have you ever
This is a
gone
good
through
one.
to remove people, or like obviously I think it's 6,500, right? So you cap that really quickly.
Yeah, I've never gotten that high.
No?
Yeah. So if you get there, then yeah, that's crazy. But it's got to, you only follow 6,500. Interesting.
I think no total. Like on your whole account, I'm pretty sure
That you can follow. Yeah. I don't know, if you're following 6,500 people, that's a lot of people that you're following in your network, right? And this is the next thing I was going to talk about is who you follow. So I noticed this one day before I learned all this stuff. I remember I telling you, like, I only learned all this stuff, guys, because I was dead broke. I couldn't afford to run ads. I couldn't afford to do stuff. So I had to do things that were free that turned into deals. So one day I was trying to engage with accounts, and I didn't understand this concept at the time when I was doing it, or started it. And I was trying to just engage with accounts on my feed, and I was scrolling for like 20 minutes, and all I saw was TV girl, celebrity, musician, sports guy, whatever. And I scrolled for 20 minutes before I came across the first account that would ever do business with me. I'm like, whoa, I just burned 20 minutes. So now what I did is I went and I unfollowed anybody that couldn't do business with me. Okay? That's so important. Because if you're using Instagram for business, be about your business, right? So unfollow anybody who can't do business with you. If you've got a couple of people who you're absolutely obsessed with, I'm sure Kim Kardashian's high on the list of them, right? But if it's something like you truly want to stay up with, maybe 5 or 6 people, but you really got to dial those down. You really do. Because otherwise, when you go to do your blitz, you're actually not going to interact with any accounts that you can do business with. Does that make sense? Okay, so there was that. Is there anything specific anybody wants to talk about? Any questions?
Is it just Instagram or all platforms created equal?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So her question was, is it just Instagram or are all platforms created equal? So at the moment, for deals, Instagram is the king. At the moment. Okay? Who knows what will come up and change or whatever. TikTok is the king for views. So if you want to pat yourself in the back and say you got 100,000 views on something, great. Show me the deals that you got on 100,000 views. I don't care. Right? If you want to be a social media superstar, go and do that. But if you want to do deals, which app is going to get you deals? Does that make sense? So there's a couple things I also want to cover on that question. So which apps should you use primarily, and should you just focus on one or two, or what should you do? Right? Anybody ever heard that term? Just focus on one and get good at one. Well, that person's not making money on social media, not real estate, I promise you. So what you want to do is you just make one simple post and you put it on all platforms, because it's wherever the person wants to consume the content is where it needs to be. Does that make sense? So for example, like, what's your favorite platform? Or what do you use the most?
Probably TikTok.
TikTok. That you consume.
Post on Instagram, but I scroll forever on
TikTok. TikTok's algorithm is unbelievable, by the way. I'm just gonna do a quick round until we get a few options here. So Instagram.
Instagram.
Instagram. Instagram. Instagram. Instagram.
Instagram.
No Facebook, you say?
Facebook now. But
Facebook?
now
Why?
Instagram.
Facebook's
Now
dead.
Instagram.
Yeah.
But see what I'm saying? So if you only post, like just using this table sample here, if you only post on Instagram, half the table wants TikTok. That's where they're spending their time. If you're only posting on Instagram, or on TikTok, half the table wants Instagram. Does that make sense? So it doesn't matter what you like, It matters what they like. So you just make your post and you put it everywhere. And then let people consume where they consume. Does that make sense? Right? So I record all of my stuff in Snapchat. I like Snapchat the best. I've done tons of deals off of Snapchat, just so you guys know. I probably say 8 to 10 deals a year on Snapchat. Yeah, so don't sleep on any of them, right? They all get the exact same content I put out, the exact same content. You know who my deals are on Snapchat? Most of them?
Millennials?
Bartenders that their parents bought them a house. That's the majority of my Snapchat deals. I'll take those. My mommy wants to buy you a house, cool. Let's go. Just don't let dad come to the inspection, right? So I record everything in Snapchat because it gives you a 1 minute limit and then it stops you. And all of the platforms really like the 1 minutes right now. TikTok's moving to 3 minutes, right? But you're still seeing the parts of the 3 minutes, the storytelling and stuff. It's hard to get someone to engage with you for 3 minutes on TikTok. So even though that is what they're looking for, it's hard for you to put out content that people are going to watch for 3 minutes. Okay? So I record it in Snapchat, save it to my camera roll. I post it individually to Instagram, individually to TikTok, individually to Facebook, and individually to LinkedIn. Not on one of those group posting apps. If you got a question, I'll come to it in a second. Not on one of those group posting apps because all of the platforms know that it came from that application and it doesn't like that. It likes to think that it's the only one. It doesn't want you to only be everybody.
So it's a monogamous, is
It's
what you're
monogamous.
saying. Got it.
It's not on the Bachelor.
Got
So
it.
using something like Meta to, no.
Yeah, so what happens is it'll save you 5 minutes, but it'll dump all your posts.
Okay.
Because they know that it's coming from that, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, well, I'm TikTok. Why would I boost something that came from Meta?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, for sure.
You can even see the watermarks and stuff.
Yeah.
So what's the question?
In terms of content,
Yes.
do you send out on the interactive? Like, you know how people write, what are your thoughts, like comments here, and then that way you're asking people to.
Yeah, the polls and stuff like
Yes,
that.
how you feel
Yeah,
about
they're good. Yeah, so if you can get engagement on them, but if that's all you're posting some stupid stuff that nobody engages with, then it's still good. So you just want to make sure that it is something people engage with, right? So that's a really good question, like a really, really good question. And I want to dive into the 5 things that we are posting on our stories so that we're doing them right. Because I talk about this all the time, food, fitness, expression, motivation, as kids. But what does that mean? So food, right? Does somebody help you with food posts? Like we all have food here, right? What do you think a bad food post would be?
Picture of your food.
Picture of your food. The lowest possible effort you can put in, right? I eat a sandwich. Nice. Right? Has anybody gotten onto these, I don't know for kids, they're like 20 years old. It's crazy, 20 years old right now. Luke Foods and Wang Dang food reviews?
No.
No? I just want to show you guys one. Just to show you how crazy this is. To show you how you do food. And I'm not saying to do it exactly like this. What's the handle? Luke Foods. I'm going to show you one.
Luke Foods?
Yeah, he's not a realtor.
Luke
He's,
Collins?
no, Luke Foods. Yeah, so the guy's a total nerd. I absolutely love him. So I'm just going to give you an example. Just don't do it exactly like this, but I'm going to dive into it, right? So.
How we raise in Los Angeles. And look at that. This is the medium sando. Oh my goodness, this is the best chicken sandwich I've ever seen. Let's take a bite.
He's in his car?
They just sit in their car.
Okay.
Holy macaroni. Okay? So, anyways, he's selling the sizzle, not the steak. He's enjoying the food, and you're going to enjoy the food with him, right? So I'm not saying sit there and eat your food in front of people, but I'm just saying, like, if something is really good, you're like, oh man, did I just have the best pasta from whatever restaurant? Or I just had the shittiest breakfast you ever imagined from whatever restaurant, right? But then people can interact with you, right? So go away from just the bare minimum of posting a picture of the food or a boomerang, like, look, I'm eating again. I'm like, we all do it 3 times a day. Good job, I guess. Like, I don't know, right? But do something that people can actually interact with, right? So like, you guys don't follow me yet, but if you want to, Shawn, but people know that I love the barbecue, right? And I'll tell you about some deals I've gotten out of barbecue. But I used to, back in the day, I used to do a thing where I'd sit on the other side of my deck and I'd grab the thing and go, rest in peace, Kobe, but I'd be like, Kobe, and I'd throw the steak across the fucking deck, and sometimes it would hit the ground, and sometimes it would hit the barbecue, and whatever, but people would always laugh along with that, right? And I'd always cook, yeah. And I'm 300 pounds, right? So I cook like obnoxiously big meals. And people would always joke like, oh, is nobody else eating that? Or are you feeding the whole family, just you, or whatever, right? So, but I'll tell you how powerful this is. So I met a guy at the gym, and actually, I've mad ADD, so I talk in circles, but I promise I'll circle back. Business cards, anybody use those anymore? No?
Digital.
Digital? You guys have digital cards? I recommend you throw those away too. So I only do social media to get a hold of me now. I won't give you my number, I won't give you my email, I don't want you to contact me that way. I want your social media, whatever you prefer, so that instead of hitting you with a drip campaign or, you know, business cards at best get rolled up into a joint, right? And it's a nice form of use for the filter on a joint, right? But if you get their Instagram handle or their Facebook or whatever it is they're into, if you add each other right away, you're going to be the top of each other's algorithms. And it's a better chance for them to stay high together and see who you are. And then that's how you keep them for life. So it says, can I have your card? I'm like, sorry, I don't have your cards. I've done it for 3 years. You know, what's your favorite social media? Boom, 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 follow. Send them a DM instantly. Really nice meeting with you, connect with you. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. Ever have a great day. Yeah. So, we're circling back to what we were talking about before that. So
Barbecue.
yeah. So I met him at the gym. Got huge legs. Always jealous of guys with huge legs. Right? Like, sick wheels, man. He's like, hey, you too. I'm like, not really, but thanks for the line. So we kind of became friends at the gym, and then we became friends on Instagram after. And he was always messaging on my food stuff all the time, right? So I was staying behind his algorithm. And one time we have another strategy called the boomerang, which I'll teach you guys next. I asked him to help me with the boomerang, and he's like, oh no, I can't. I'm like, oh, why not? He's like, I got too many friends that are realtors. I just don't want to play favorites on my page, right? So I'm not going to share your post. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. So as we went on, and he kept commenting on my food posts. That's it. He never commented on anything but food posts. That's it. So then, one day he hits me up. He's like, hey man, the realtor that I used to refer just dropped the ball. You never paid the referral. My client said that you did a bad job, blah, 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 blah. He's like, can I send you business? I'm like, can you send? Yes, you can send me fucking business. Thank you. Right? So he sent me a trial client first, which was something that this was listed by the other agent that he used to refer. Didn't do a good job. I picked it up, did the right photos and pictures and whatever. Got it sold. The guy was super happy. He referred me to his builder friend who builds 3 to 4 infills a year. And in Calgary, those infills are a purchase of $500,000 to $600,000 and a sale price of $1.5 million to $2 million. So let's just say 1.5 million times 3. What's that? 1.5. And what's 500,000 times 3? So how much is that?
6.
Quick commission on 6.
Lots.
Right? 100 grand. Call it 100 grand. $100,000 for posting about my barbecue. Is that worth it? See how powerful that is? But it's not me just taking a picture of my steak. It's me interacting with my food in the way that I interact with it. Right? Okay, so that's food. Fitness, same thing. We're talking about fitness. Bring people along your fitness journey, right? And the cool thing is this will hold you socially accountable to your goals. So if you're struggling with dieting, if you're struggling with getting to the gym, it's whatever, say, hey, I'm starting a 5 a.m. club. Whoever wants to come with me. All you got to do is just put on your story 5 a.m. and tag me. I'll share it. Right? Boom, you just started a 5 a.m. club. That easy. Or whatever it is that you're getting yourself into, right? But talk about your fitness journey. Or if you hit PRs at the gym, put that on your story. Or if you struggle to get to the gym, or whatever sport it is that you play, and you went there, talk about the mental steps that you took to get over it. And I'll give you another example on this one. I got a friend, his name is Hugo. He's probably, not even probably, he is the most dedicated person I've met in my life. I've never met anybody like Hugo, ever. I think he's close to 40 years old. He's got an unbelievable physique, like 12 out of 10 physique. And he's always working out, training clients. And in between his sets when he's working out, he's sitting on the bench reading a fucking book. And it's like an intellectual book, like studying and like highlighting stuff. And then he'll go and he'll squat like 300 pounds and then back to his book. Holy shit, man. Right? And he never misses a day. I've never seen this guy miss a day. One day he texted me and he said, hey man, I just want to thank you. For what, man? He's like, I know that you were getting up and getting after it today, and I couldn't let myself not because I knew you were. So I got up today because I knew you were going to be there. Don't you know I slept in that day? No, just kidding. But people are following you, right? You don't understand. And you talking about your battles that you're getting over and the mental toughness that you're putting in, other people will latch onto that and latch onto your story. And I'm not saying air your problems and air your all that dirty laundry. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, like, if you struggle with something and you won, don't just say that you struggled and you won. Think about the steps that you took and share those steps. So that's the fitness stuff, right? So talking about fitness, that kind of ties into inspiration, motivation, same idea. And then memes. Big bonus point for memes here. Okay. Has anybody ever posted a meme, like on their story on their page?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All of
Yeah,
us?
all
How
the
many
time.
comments did you get on that? On your story?
Lots.
So you guys got lots? Yeah, I'm the opposite. Nobody responds to my memes.
People act like
I'll sit there and it's like something I pour my heart out into. I'm like, oh wow, that hit hard, right? That's amazing. Nobody responded. Wow, nobody cares about this, huh? So what happens is when you posted that meme, or sorry, the quote, it meant so much to you that you wanted to share it with the world, right? It hit you so hard emotionally that you wanted to share it with the world. Anybody who responded with that now is connected with that emotion. Does that make sense? And sales is no more, no less than a transfer of emotions. So if we can emotionally connect with people, we can help them with the sales process that much better. So anytime you see a meme come across, or sorry, a quote come across, make sure you interact with it. Not just a like, not just an emoji, but see why that person posted it and have a conversation about it. Does that make sense? Okay. Pets and kids are easy. Just watch them running into the walls and whatever it is that they do, right? So that's an easy one. But those are the things in the story. But like, do you guys see the power of that if you do it properly?
Yes.
Right? It's not a toy. Like, it's a serious business. Okay, so I'll teach you guys the boomerang. I'll teach you Facebook Marketplace, and I'll open up for questions. So the boomerang, this is the most powerful thing that you can do for social media. Like, this is your number one. The thing is, you only want to do it once a month, once every 4 weeks, because you're going to get annoyed with people. But this does everything positive for your business and for your social media. So you only do it with listings, right? So go get yourself a listing. It's so easy to get. Just kidding. So when you post your listing, you want to set aside at least an hour for this, if not 2 or 3 hours. So this, again, you're not driving, you're not watching TV, you're not listening to music. This is solid social media prospecting. So you post your property, then you take the post and you share it to your story. I'm going to say this like I'm talking with 3-year-olds here, because the steps are simple, but everybody gets it wrong. So post to your feed, share that to your story. Once you've shared it to your story, you can see all the people that are watching your story. If they just watch their story, where's their phone?
Yeah.
And where are they probably sitting?
Okay.
I would say the toilet. just kidding. But anyways, it doesn't matter where they're sitting. Their phone's in their hand. Okay? So you're going to send every single one of those people a DM, and that's why you have to be paying attention to this, because it's a time thing. The phone's in their hands. So every single person gets this message to a point. You guys can kind of change it however it is if you want to change it. But something along these lines. So hey and their name, right? So hey, yes, Ennis. So hey Ennis. Ennis? Sorry. Should have picked like a friend. I had a guy, my very first agent I met, his name was Gabber, the board. I can never, 3 years, I still think it's fucking name. Anyways, A and S. I'm trying to get as much exposure as I can on this listing. It would mean the world to me if you could share, and these are the 3 words, if you could share my post from my feed to your story. Everybody's going to get this wrong. They're like, I can't share your story. Well, I just said, post, feed, your story. Because they're going to try to share your story to their story. It doesn't work. So can you share my post from my feed to your story? That way I get more exposure for the listing. If you can't or you don't want to, not a problem at all. Totally understand. So you leave it out. But if you can, seriously, thank you. Okay? So something along those lines in your own words. Does that make sense for everybody?
Yep.
Does anybody need to repeat it, or they kind of got the gist of it?
That's good.
So ask, it means a lot to you. Post, feed, story, needs to be in there, those 3 keywords. And then give them an out. If you don't want to, totally fine. No problem at all. And that guy that I said about with the food, that's what I asked him to do, and he told me no. A month later, all of a sudden he's giving you referrals. Does that make sense, right? Okay, so then they're going to share the listing to their story. So here's something that's really interesting. Has anybody ever sponsored ads for listings? Has anybody ever done it? So what's the, do you know the response rates?
So sometimes I have like to ask about like how like you promoting your post, is that working well?
No. So you take a post, so you just make a post,
Okay.
you share it to your story.
Yeah.
And then when you click the story, you get the little eyeball, you can see all the people that saw your story. So those are the people that have their phone in their hand and they just saw your story. So you're gonna send them a message, a little people airplane, you just send them a message right from where the eyeball is. Right? And you say, can you do me a huge favor? Hey Sarah, hey Frank, hey Nancy. Can you do me a favor? Can you share my post of this listing to your story? So when we come across a sponsored ad, most of us do what? Right? Like this. When we have a friend that says, hey, check this out, what do? What do you think is more effective? The money out of your pocket that people scroll past, or the recommendation from your friend?
Question for you, so it reverts to like when you see us do that post on your
Yeah.
story, do you like wait 2 hours for someone to be able to?
No, instantly. No, instantly. This is the key. Great question. So her question is, do you wait for a bunch of people to see your story, or do you do it right away? So the whole reason why you want to do it right away is because what's one of the main things if a post is going to go viral or not? And I don't mean viral 100,000 views. I mean are viral. So like if you're used to getting 100 views and you get 300 views, that's a big difference. What's the most important factor?
Speed.
How many people look at the first 15 minutes? Right? Right? So yeah, so how many people look at the first 15 minutes? And if a bunch of people look and like and comment, all of a sudden it's going to show it to a bigger group of people, and if it does the same thing, it's going to show it to a bigger group of people. So getting that first 15 minutes is super important. Now, so you have to do it right after, instantly you're doing it, right? Great question.
Do you do that with anybody that looked at it?
Every single person. Every single person that sees your story. You're just doing it blind, right? You're not even thinking about it. The only thing you're looking for is their name. Their name and then paste. Then just hey. Yeah. Yeah. So there's more to this, by the way.
So, do you do it only with the listings?
I've tried with a bunch of different
What
things.
about like if it's open house, we also advertise open house, or just sold, or just rent?
Let me answer some of those questions for you. So, somebody help me circle back after if I get too far on track and stuff. So help me circle back if I get too far away from where we're just at. So she asked, should I do it for just listings or should I do it for open houses, solds, and all that kind of stuff, right? Okay. So I'm going to veer off from where we're at and I'm going to come back. So when we're talking about posting your solds and posting your open houses and all that kind of stuff, the biggest thing we want to understand is why people are on Facebook and Instagram. So did anybody here sign up for the premium Facebook that they're paying for, the premium Instagram? There's always someone that says yes. Right? Nobody's paying for Facebook, right? Nobody's paying for Instagram. Right? Nobody's paying for the one that only shows you ads. Because it doesn't exist. Right? Nobody signed up for Facebook and nobody signed up for Instagram to get bombarded with a bunch of ads. So if your account looks like an ad, you just pissed off your audience. That's not what they're there for. They want to see your cute little puppy or your baby or what you're eating and stuff like that. That's what they want to see, right? So you have to mix in real estate on top of that. So if you're posting open houses and solds on your feed, you're just pissing people off. Nobody cares about your open house. Right? They just don't. I think this is one of my biggest frustrating stories that I see all the time. I am down at 123 Maplewood Street and I'm working open house from 2 to 5 today. Come visit me. It's Saturday. Because you've got nothing better to do on Saturday. Right? Please. Please. I got coffee. Nobody fucking wants to come see you. Stop.
No, I'm sorry, that wasn't the question.
No, I don't think I'm getting it. Oh my God. So what happens when you post that, instead of becoming top of perfect, you put top of annoyance. Right? So you don't want to put that stuff up there. But while you're at an open house, what you can do is give value on the open house. So property tours are huge right now. Huge. I can't believe how big property tours are right now. So I would work open houses in pairs, and I would be filming each other going through a property tour, right? Or you'd be sitting in an open house and give education, right? Like, do you guys know how furnaces work? Do you know how HVAC systems work? Do you know how windows are calculated for their heat losses? Do you know what shingles are for 10 years, 15 years, 25 years, and 50 years? Do you know these things? If not, learn them and then teach people at your open house. Hey, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at one, whatever, Maplewood Street. I just want to show you how to tell if your windows are old or not. Check this out. And you zoom in on the corner and there'll be a little stamp there, and it'll say windows made at whatever time. This house is 5 years old, you got 20 years left. This is an awesome deal. I'm at my open house today until 2 or 5. Right? So people see that you're working your open house, which gave them value. Does that make sense? Okay? But to answer the question, like I said, I talk in circles, so I'm sorry. The question was, should I boomerang, that's the thing that we're learning right now, open houses, solds, and other things. So based on what I just said, what do you think? So now this is a really fine line that you guys have to walk, posting your solds and stuff like that. You need to post solds because you need to show that you're active. But if that's all that your page looks like, if I go to your page and it looks like open house sold, active, open house sold, active, I literally could not care less about you. Like, you could fall off the face of the earth and I'd be like, thank goodness I don't have to see the shit anymore. Right? Sorry if I got anybody again. But yeah. Well, nobody signed up for Facebook for that, right? Like, imagine back in the day, the newspapers, right? Who flipped to the back ad page and be like, this is what I'm here for. Got it. Got that ad. Yeah. Nobody went and paid $1.50 for a newspaper, whatever the hell it was at the time, to flip to the ad page in the back. Right? You know what they have to put in the back to get people there? Well, pictures and dating stuff to get people to fucking go to that page. That's what was mixed in there. So, boomerang. Post to your feed, to your story, and then as everybody eyeballs it, you send them the same message, so you paste the message, right? So it's like, hey Tim, paste that message. And then when they share it, here's something that's super cool and super powerful. You're gonna get a ton of exposure on that listing. And if you're a listing agent, what's your primary job? Right? And how do you get the best sale price? More eyeballs. What did you do for free? But on top of that, the most I've ever got, just so you know, is 45,000 views on a post. At the time, I had like 350 followers. I had no followers. Everybody was hammering me to that. I've got a really cool story about this also. This is my sister's house. I did a CMA for her. This is when the market was going down, not up. So I did a CMA for her. I can't remember the price, just say $550 for now. And I said, okay, you should sell it right away because the market's going down, and at the moment we don't have any competition that's like your house. She lived in a very competitive community. And I said, you know, you pay touch us, whatever, all this kind of stuff, and get the house on the market. And she said, okay, cool. I'm like, how long do you need? She said, when should I do it? I'm like, this week. I said, this week. She's like, cool, I need a month. Fuck, I just told you, you have no competition, give it up now, right? So a month later, we go to put the house up. And I do another CMA because the market could change in a month. And so, sure as shit, so she lives here. 3 doors down, a house came for sale right before we went live, like 2 days before. And guess what? The exact same floor plan, except it was a show home. So you guys know what show homes are? Out here? Our show homes like dialed right up out here. So this had everything, like completely dialed. Her house had laminate countertops. It was yellow on the outside and yellow on the inside, right? And it wasn't an upgraded house. It was the exact same model, the exact same floor plan. I'm like, cool, Shannon, because I'm like, cool, Shannon, because you didn't listen when you cost yourself like 50 G's. Because this house is going to crush us, right? So I did everything that we could do possibly. We did Facebook Marketplace, which is the last thing to teach you. We did boomerang. I do long open houses and door knocking. I believe in a 12 to 5 open house. We can get into that if you guys want. So we did all that stuff, and on that one with the boomerang, I got 45,000 views on our listing. I got 45,000 views on a property with that listing. Not TikTok views, Instagram views, right? These are different quality views. So anyways, the girl that was working the open house for the other property she came over and she left at like 3. Like I said, I left 12 to 5, so I got 2 hours left. She goes over. I was like, hey, how's it going? Good. I'm like, oh yeah. She's like, well, I think we got an offer on our house and I think we're gonna take it. I'm like, oh shit. So I know she is. I'm like, where'd you get it? She didn't tell me, so good for her. She goes, you'll see it in the page. She goes, it's really low, but I'm gonna try to force myself to take it. I'm like, shit. I'm like, we priced it at like the same price. So if you're going low, I'm like, we're in a lot of trouble here. So anyways, the day goes on and we get an offer on our house too. I'm like, oh, perfect. It was actually like right above this price. I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound right because the price, the same price as the other one, and she told me it was a low offer. So anyways, the dishwasher broke and like something else broke and all this stuff came up with the home inspection. And I'm like, shit, whatever comes up with the home inspection, you gotta pay for it. Because that house got marked, and I think it was $550 the sale price, I think it took $490 as their sale price. So it was something crazy, right? And I saw it, and I'm like, we have to sell this, because if these people see that sold price, we're fucked. And if this goes back on the market, this becomes your new comp, not a chance. So the heater and all that kind of stuff she replaced. And I think our sale price was like $435 or $440, something like that. So I got like 40, 50 G's more on a $50,000 less good house because of marketing, how powerful the marketing was. And what happened is the same thing happened on my house, what I learned. We were looking for a certain area and a certain demographic and a certain price point, right? And we said, we're not going outside this community. So that's where we were looking. All of a sudden on Facebook, this house comes up that's one community over. One community, 5 minutes more, one community. But it's infinitely better than the ones that we're looking at. I'm like, I could drive 5 more minutes for a way better house. I didn't look at anything else in that neighborhood. I looked at just that one house that I saw on Facebook. I didn't look at nothing else. And then I paid for it, right? So that's what happened with my sister's house. Is I found people that were outside the MLS search. Does that make sense? So I found people that were shopping in higher end communities and more expensive properties. This probably came to like, that's almost free. Like you guys shopping in Alberta. So does that make sense? What happened? Okay. So that was part of the boomerang. So now what's happening, so we're gonna get a ton of exposure for your listings. So your sellers are happy, right? Cool, I got the views. The other thing that's gonna happen is when a bunch of people come and start seeing your account, what happens to your account? It's boosted in the algorithm. When you have your friends recommending you to go see one of your friends, what happens? You go see that friend. So now you're using your friends' accounts to get more exposure to your account. And if you've got those 5 things on your story, food, fitness, nutrition, motivation, needs, and family, if you got those 5 things, some of those people are going to vibe with you and follow you. Now you just got followers from your friends. That's going to be a good referral base. Does that make sense? The other thing is DMs are one of the most important things. Saves are number 1, shares are number 2, DMs are number 3. Those are the most impactful things that you can do to your account to increase your algorithm. So now what do you have? A bunch of shares and a bunch of DMs. Your account is now hot. Makes sense? So now all those people that shared and said, hey, check out this listing, check out my bud Shawn, check out my whatever. Now you're gonna go back into the DMs and you treat it like a warm call. I don't know if you guys get warm calls or not, they're so powerful. But you treat it like a warm call, and what happens is you're like, hey, Ness, the next day every time, right? Right? Hey Ness, thank you so much for sharing it. It truly meant the world to me. How's your life? And you just keep asking questions about them and what they're doing. How's work? How's summer? How's your vacation looking? How's whatever? Bonus points if you go on their feed and check out their feed and see something they've done. Oh wow, somebody just bought a new truck. Oh cool, I just saw you went camping and blah blah blah. How was that? Ask them questions as a warm call. Then they're going to ask you something back about real estate, as always. How's the market? How's this? It's always just great. It's always awesome. If you have any questions, let me know. More about you. All you want to do is warm that person up. Because you don't need to sell them anything. You say, send me a referral because they're going to see your value posts all the time because you're high in their algorithm. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that boomerang is unbelievable what it does for your account. It gets a ton of exposure for your listings. It crushes it in your algorithm. It gets followers from other people who are your friends' followers, and it's just an amazing thing to do, right? And it warms up your spirit, right? They always say like work your spirit, work your spirit. It's like the number one thing when you're trying to do, right? And okay, well, what does that mean? COVID breaks in, they want to do some real estate. Fuck, oh, like I'm just not doing that. But here, you're warming up your sphere genuinely, right? Does that make sense for everybody? Yeah. So yeah, so those are the big ones. Yeah, the last thing I'll teach you about the questions. This I've never done less than 20 deals for free a year off of this. Never. And it cost me 5 minutes and $0. And again, this is one of those things that I had to develop because I had the money and I need to advertise properties. So I went on Facebook Marketplace, and it's funny because when I did this, I saw group messages and stuff like that, and people making fun of me. Oh, Shawn getting before we run ads, look at him selling in garage sale places, trying to sell a house. So a lot of fucking houses in that garage sale Facebook group. It's unbelievable how good Facebook Marketplace is. So what happens, you just take your post that you put on Instagram, 10 pictures, your write-up, and then the link to your KV portal, whatever CRM you guys are using, so that it links back to your property, right, to your CRM. And you got to join a bunch of marketplaces, a bunch, right? So like, was it you want to work in, didn't I?
There's a few, yeah, there's a lot of them, Georgina.
Yeah, well, just one big one for now. So what's his name? Keswick?
Keswick.
So Keswick is a city or a community? Oh, it's that small. Let's say Toronto. Okay. We want to niche down a little more than that, right? So Toronto's a city, and then inside Toronto is a community of. And what's that one called? Etobicoke? Yeah, Etobicoke. So in there is the community of Etobicoke. So anyways, see, we're still having fun here. So what happens is in that community page, there'll be for sale, garage sale, yard sale, all that stuff. You want to join all those groups. I was joining motorcycle groups. I was trying to join lawn groups. This is before the whole I identify as movement, so they wouldn't let me in. Now I probably get in. So you join all those community groups, and then when you go to post a Facebook Marketplace post, it'll say you want to post in other places, and it'll give you 20 options to post in 20 more places. Just click the first 20. You're going to get kicked out of so many. And you're going to get hate and all kinds of shit. But the ones that give you love, they think you're almost like a for sale by owner type thing. You know, obviously you're not. You put your website and all that stuff on there. But you get an unbelievable amount of people right in the DMs. Can I see this? Can I see this? Can I see this? Can I see this? Because they're getting exposed to stuff that's outside their MLS search. Does that make sense? And you're doing a great job for your seller because you're getting more exposure. I've literally never done less than 20 deals in a year from this, and it takes like 5 minutes. It's like mind-numbing how easy it is. And you get a lot of people, I'll come to you in a second. You get a lot of people that I'm interested in, that's like an auto tap. That's it. But all it is just give me a back, right? And then, so if they say, I'm interested, and they truly are, you say, yeah, not a problem, I'd like to book you a showing or get you more information. What do you want? I want more information. Cool, what can I help you with? Answer the question. I'd like to book a showing. Perfect. And then when you book a showing, it's as simple as, it doesn't even have to be your listing, it's any listing, as long as you have permission to do it, right? You say, I have a bunch of other listings that are similar in the neighborhood. Would you like me to send you a list so you can see a bunch instead of just the one? Perfect. So then you put them on, what do you guys use? Yeah, what's it called? Yeah, we set people up on searches and stuff. Yeah, so I'll set you up on a trend search or whatever it's called. I'll set you up on a trend search and I'll send you some properties and we'll go with 5 or 6 instead of just the one. How's that sound? Perfect. And take one and buy two and you sell them the fucking house. Literally, it's like a one and done. You're done in 1 day. And then if the property is sold, it's even better. Because you hit them up and they're like, oh, sorry, we just sold this one. You know, it was like 4 months ago. And we just sold that one. But we have a ton of other ones that are almost the exact same. You're gonna get your email, I'll send you a list. And then you don't put them in your CRM, but you put them in your CRM, but you set them up on a search instantly for what they're looking for. And then as soon as you send a search, you go back into the TNs, and you let them, hey, I just sent you a search, I think the best property is 123 Applewood Street, we can go see it today or Thursday, what works better for you, right? And then go and take them on a thing to consult. And the other thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna get trolls, like you're always gonna, especially in your guys' market, because your price is wild. What do you mean $10 million for a dumpster condo? So when the trolls come, you want those and you want to embrace them. You really, really do. And then I'll finish with this and the questions. So whenever you get a troll or an objection, use the strategy you're okay, I'm okay. Right? So the strategy you're okay, I'm okay is you agree with whatever it is that they say. That disarms them completely. Right? You'd never pay $2 million for this house. I totally understand. I would never thought to pay $2 million for this house either. Okay, we're fine, right? However, have you seen what the market's done in the last 2 years? Do you know that our dollar is worth 50 cents compared to what it was $1 2 years ago? Blah, 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 whatever information that you have on the market, you respond to them intellectually and politely. Because what's going to happen, you're not going to sell the troll. They got no fucking money anyways. They're in their mom's basement. But other people are going to see how you responded to the troll, and they're going to come to bat for you. But I would only buy a house from you. I love how you responded to that person. Cool, I only want to buy a house with you too. Let's follow each other real quick. Right? Does that make sense? So Facebook Marketplace. So I taught you guys a few things today. So Facebook Marketplace, 20 deals, easy. What's the question?
So speaking about marketplace,
Yeah.
any kind of listing or only new listings?
Any listing doesn't matter. Because all you're trying to get is the people to
And
ask
you say like
questions
about
about it.
10 pictures is enough, right?
Only, you don't want to do too many, because if you give them too many pictures, they got no reason to click your website. So if they don't send you a DM, sorry,
Just 2 or 3 pictures.
10 is good, enough to show them the house. Not that they're interested, because if you only show 2 or 3, they're gonna be like, what is that?
Do you also put the price there or not?
Yeah, I played with this. I currently do put the price in the address, but I only put my listings. So if I wasn't gonna put my listings, if I was gonna put your listing, I probably wouldn't put the address in the price. I'd probably just put the community. Now on Marketplace, it is gonna ask you for the address, so you have to try to kind of fudge that a little bit, right? Or put it in the center of the community and just say DM for address.
And then for the listing, when you put only pictures of the house, or also maybe some pictures of school or amenity or this kind of store or a swimming pool, something like that?
That's a good question. I've only done it of the property. Yeah, I've only done it of the property.
So you don't add addresses to people? You
Sorry?
don't wanna add address?
Address?
If it's my listing, I'll put the address, because it's coming to me anyways. But if it's not my listing, I would not put the address. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you get permission to do someone else's listing. But that's the 23, it's like, it's mind-blowing. I'm sorry over my that.
No problem, we'll take just a couple more questions then.
Yeah,
Actually, I'm actually trying to sort of taking into consideration what you were saying here, and permission from my colleagues, I was trying to find out now, so I did personally, the last few posts, was I would be, computers, for example, there's a lot of people posting, the shops and just Main Street flags and saying, hey, I'll be here at this address at this time. Is that like walking my eye between interchange and
yeah, it's a good question. So, I just think if I was consuming the content, is there value for me? Right? So imagine this, think of your best friend. What does he do for a living?
he collects it from delivery number.
Okay. Would you give a shit if he texted at 7 a.m. that he showed up to work on time?
Sorry,
If he posted a picture of his dump truck, said 7 a.m. at work on time, would you care? If it was lunchtime and you said, hey, 12, I have his dump truck, go for lunch, would you care? So why the fuck would you care what we're doing in our day? It's the same, you know what I'm saying? Right? So if we're just saying, like another big one is like people have their 10 MLS sheets, right? They're gonna go do a block with 10 properties, busy day, 10 properties. Right? Oh, look at Boomerang, like the tours of the first house, right? Everybody see those? Everybody guilty? Yeah, I got a busy day. Show everybody how busy I am. Imagine someone sitting in their office with their computer. Hour 1, hour 2, got a busy day. Good job. Like that's your job, right? Fuck. Like nobody nobody cares, right? But think of like, what I'm posting, is there value for my audience? Or am I just trying to show people that I'm at work? Because good job, we all work, right? Does that make sense? No, so I'm big on promoting your open house, but nobody is coming to your open house from the post. Does that make sense? So on the story, give value to the open house, right? So like, let's say we're going to open house together, right? So I would go like this. Okay, hey guys, I'm at 123 Applewood Street, come check this out. This is the best kitchen in the neighborhood. Come on in. And then follow me in, right? And then, hey, hey. That's how we do an open house, right? But then people are gonna follow you, right? There's this one girl in my market. She has a super cute little thing. Like if I was cute, I'd do it, but I'm not. But she always does this like, and she doesn't talk. She just does like her 3 favorite things of the house, and she always goes like, it's like my 3 favorite things. And she goes like, right? Like, oh, that's cute. Right? And then she'll show her for 3 favorite things. And every weekend I'm like, man, I wonder what like 3 favorite things are gonna be. But it works. But she's not just, come visit me because I'm bored. She's that side. So I would be very careful with that. Okay. I'd be really careful because the seller might watch, right? If you're being serious about it. And
would want a Ellen spot.
yeah, so that's cool. Yeah, totally. Yeah, but don't shit on houses. I've been called to because aren't
We always assume they're watching.
Yeah, well, I had a guy that said that my seller's suing me because he tanked their deal because he pointed all this bullshit about his house. I'm like, oh boy.
Or you pointed at the age of the window.
Yeah, the client saw it. Cool.
So basically, if you're at the open house and you want to just attract people, it only has to be good things, right? Like
what's the percentage of selling the open house? What's the likelihood you sell the open house? You're saying
Quite high.
very low. 1%. Right? 1%. I don't care about selling the house. I care about being top of preference, right? So when I'm making my post about my open house, I know I'm not going to sell the open house from my post, but I want to be top of preference. So when someone's thinking about selling their home, they're like, oh man, Shawn always does open houses every weekend. I like that. And he always does these cute little 3 things, right? In his open house. That's what I want my audience to know, right? I want them to vibe with me. So what happens is, and like lives, sorry, I'm talking forever. So. Anyways, you have any questions?